Forget the tall buildings humans create that reach into the sky. Nature has its own builders working quietly all around us, creating amazing structures that are more complex than anything even the best engineers could design. Right under our noses, these tiny architects use only natural materials to build homes that defy logic and gravity. What they create with just beaks, feathers, grass, and instinct is nothing short of incredible. The ba weaver bird is one of nature's most skilled builders. During South Asia's rainy season, the male ba weaver turns into a one-bird construction crew. He chooses a high, thorny branch above water, where snakes and rats cannot climb. Then he starts weaving strips of grass or palm fibers, each one around 20 to 60 centimeters long. With over 3,000 loops, he creates a hanging nest that looks like a sock. After about 8 days, the nest reaches the helmet stage, and that's when the male starts his performance. He sings and flaps his wings to attract a female's attention. If she likes his unfinished home, he completes the long entrance tunnel. If she doesn't, he tears it down and starts again. Some males repeat this process up to 20 times in a season. In colonies, up to 60 nests can hang together, all angled to face away from strong monsoon winds for safety. In the past, people believed these birds used fireflies to light their nests, but scientists later discovered the truth. They use clay or dung to strengthen them instead. The higher the nest and the thinner the branch, the safer it is from predators, proving how clever these little builders are. In Central America, the Montezuma orapendula bird takes nest building to another level. Each female builds her own nest from vines and fibers, hanging it from tall branches that predators can't reach. These pouch-shaped nests can be anywhere from 2 to 6 feet long and protect the eggs from storms and climbing animals. A single tree can hold dozens, even hundreds, of these hanging homes. Inside each nest, the mother lays 2 eggs, but usually only one chick survives. Life in the wild is both beautiful and harsh. Local legends say that orapendulas build their nests near hornet colonies for safety, and scientists found that to be partly true. The hornets scare off predators like cowbirds, and in return, the birds help keep away bees that bother the hornets. It's a perfect example of how different species can help each other survive. While the females build, the males perform hanging displays, swinging upside down and making bubbling calls to impress their mates. Researchers have even called this behavior choreographed, because of its rhythm and timing. Deep in the Kalahari Desert, the sociable weaver bird builds something unlike anything else on Earth. These birds create huge communal nests that can stretch more than 10 feet wide and weigh almost a ton. Inside, there can be hundreds of rooms, with up to 500 birds living together. It's like an entire apartment complex made from sticks and grass, balanced on a single tree or even a telephone pole. The design is brilliant. Narrow tunnels lead to cozy chambers that stay cool during the scorching daytime heat and warm through the cold desert nights. Scientists have recorded inside temperatures that remain steady around 21 to 24 degrees Celsius, even when it's freezing outside. These nests can last for generations, sometimes more than 100 years, being rebuilt and expanded by new flocks. They also become homes for many other species, including pygmy falcons, finches, skinks, and even snakes that try to steal eggs, but the nest structure often protects against them too. In local Kalahari legends, these nests are said to glow with life, like sacred homes of the desert. In many ways, that's true. They are masterpieces of nature, symbols of survival, cooperation, and intelligence. If you think birds weaving with sticks is impressive, wait until you hear about one that builds using its own saliva. The cave swiftlet is a tiny bird that lives in the dark caves of Southeast Asia and nearby islands. Unlike other birds, it doesn't have grass, twigs, or leaves to build with. Instead, it uses its sticky saliva as glue to create nests on cave walls. The swiftlet carefully chooses a safe spot high up on the ceiling and spends about 35 days building a small cup-shaped nest about 8 centimeters wide. Layer by layer, it adds hardened strands of saliva until the nest can hold 2 eggs and even 2 adult birds. Each nest weighs only around 6 grams, but it's strong and reliable. In huge cave systems like those in Borneo, thousands of these white nests cling to the stone walls, looking like petals. For centuries, humans have harvested these nests to make birds' nest soup, a delicacy once believed to bring youth and strength. Some myths claim that red nests have special powers, but scientists found the color actually comes from natural acids, not magic. Even so, the saliva used in these nests is rich in rare proteins and minerals, and researchers are still studying how it works as a natural glue. Sadly, people once harvested the nests so much that the swiftlet population began to collapse. But after protection laws were introduced between 2000 and 2008, their numbers rose again by nearly 40%. It's proof that when humans stop taking and start respecting nature, it can heal itself. Now, instead of the dark caves, imagine a bird that builds its home right on the forest floor. The ovenbird is a small creature found in North America's woodlands, and its nest design is brilliant in its simplicity. The female ovenbird clears a small area of leaf litter on the ground and uses grass, twigs, bits of bark, and animal hair to create a dome-shaped shelter that looks like a tiny clay oven, hence its name. The whole structure takes about 5 days to build and measures roughly 13 centimeters tall and 23 centimeters wide. Inside is a cozy cup where she lays her speckled eggs. The entrance is cleverly hidden on the side, often facing downhill so rain runs off and predators have trouble spotting it. If a snake or chipmunk gets too close, the mother pretends to be injured, fluttering away to distract the predator and lead it away from her young. She usually lays 4 or 5 eggs, and after 2 weeks, the chicks hatch. They leave the nest just over a week later but stay near their mother for about a month. Each ovenbird nest is unique in shape and size, and people in some parts of Argentina even believe destroying one brings drought. For that reason, these nests are treated as lucky charms. Moving from the forest floor to the skies, we find the cliff swallow, a true master of teamwork. These small birds don't build alone. They work in huge groups, gathering mud pellets from rivers and puddles. Each swallow carries up to 1,200 pellets to create an upside-down gourd-shaped nest with a narrow entrance. Every nest is about 8 inches wide and 4 inches tall, made of thick, solid clay walls that protect the birds from heat and predators. But what's really fascinating is how they build in massive colonies, sometimes containing hundreds or even thousands of nests packed tightly together under bridges, cliffs, or highway overpasses. Both the male and female share the hard work of building, incubating eggs, and feeding the chicks. After about 3 weeks, the young birds are ready to fly. However, not every swallow plays fair. Some females secretly lay their eggs in other birds' nests, a behavior known as brood parasitism. Despite that, these mud homes are incredibly durable. Researchers discovered that the nests are so perfectly balanced that their center of gravity keeps them intact even through strong winds and rain. They're like tiny fortresses made by nature's best engineers. Finally, meet the wood stork, a giant among nest builders. Standing over 3 feet tall, this bird creates wide platform nests up to 5 feet across, high in trees above swamps and wetlands. Both parents work together, collecting sticks and leaves, finishing their home in just a few days. To make it stronger, they line it with fresh green leaves sealed with their own droppings, which act as natural glue. Dozens of these nests can be seen together in colonies called rookeries, safely above deep swamp water where predators can't reach. Each pair lays 2 to 5 eggs, and after about a month, the chicks hatch. The newborns are tiny, but they grow quickly under their parents' constant care for nearly 2 months. Long ago, people confused wood storks with white storks, spreading the myth that they delivered babies. In truth, these birds deliver fish, snapping them out of the water faster than the blink of an eye. The pendulum tit, a tiny bird only a few inches long, creates one of the most intricate nests in the animal world. Using soft plant fibers, wool and spider silk, the male pendulum tit weaves a delicate pear-shaped pouch that hangs from a thin tree branch. But the real marvel is its clever design. Inside, the bird builds a false entrance that leads nowhere, while the real entrance is hidden behind a small flap made of spiderweb. This ingenious trick keeps predators confused and the eggs safe while also keeping the inside warm and comfortable. Some species even make 2 chambers, one as a decoy and the other as the real nursery. Each nest stands about 20 centimeters tall and can hold up to 9 eggs. The larger and thicker the nest, the warmer the eggs stay, which is why female birds tend to choose males with the strongest and most well-built nests. The male usually finishes building in about a week, and while the nest is never reused, the birds often return to the same tree year after year. Long ago, humans admired these nests so much that they used the soft, pouch-like creations as slippers and pouches. Next comes the flamingo, a bird that builds its home in a very different way. These tall, graceful birds live in wetlands and are true artists when it comes to shaping mud. Working together, a pair of flamingos uses their curved bills and long legs to build a tall, cone-shaped mound from wet mud. Each nest stands about 45 centimeters high and has a small hollow at the top where a single large egg rests. The height of the nest isn't random. It keeps the egg dry during sudden floods and cool under the heat of the sun. The damp mud surface helps regulate the temperature like natural air conditioning. Flamingos nest in large groups called flamboyances, where hundreds of mud towers sit close together, forming a huge colony. After the chick hatches, it stays on top of the mound for about a week before joining a group of other young flamingos called a creche, or flamingo daycare. Both parents care for their chick and feed it a special nutrient-rich liquid called crop milk, which helps it grow strong. Despite myths that flamingos use twigs or metal to build their nests, they rely only on mud, skill, and teamwork to create these remarkable homes. Now meet the woodpecker, nature's construction worker and demolition expert in one. Instead of building a nest with twigs or grass, this bird carves deep into tree trunks using its strong, chisel-shaped beak and reinforced skull. The woodpecker selects trees with soft, decayed heartwood but solid outer bark, allowing it to dig easily while keeping the nest sturdy. Each nest cavity starts with a small round entrance just a few centimeters wide, leading into a hollow chamber up to 24 centimeters deep. Depending on the species, it can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 years to complete. For example, the red-cockaded woodpecker spends several seasons carving into living pine trees. Inside, the bird lays 3 to 6 glossy white eggs on a soft bed of wood chips made during excavation. Contrary to the old myth, woodpeckers don't harm forests, they actually help them. Their abandoned nest holes become homes for many other creatures, including owls, bats, insects, and even other birds. Scientists call this shared habitat system the nest web, with woodpeckers as its key engineers. Their anatomy has even inspired human inventions like camera shock absorbers and helmet padding. From the hammering of wood to the weaving of grass, the southern masked weaver is another genius of nest building. Found across southern Africa, this small yellow bird is known for its creativity and hard work. Every breeding season, from September to January, the male weaver becomes a non-stop builder, weaving up to 25 nests in a few months. Each nest takes about 5 days to finish and begins with the bird tying a single blade of grass to a branch. From there, he weaves a hanging oval dome about 20 to 25 centimeters wide using reeds, palm leaves, or long grass. The entrance is always at the bottom and sometimes includes a narrow tunnel to keep predators like snakes or monkeys out.